Hi, this is Mark Eldridge with the American Anglican Council, and I want to welcome you to this vital moment in church revitalization. Have you ever been on a long car journey with children in the car, and somewhere along the road, along the trip, the kids inevitably ask the famous question, which is, "Are we there yet?" In this whiny voice, "Are we there yet? How much further? How much longer?" And the parents are driving them crazy because they're like, "No, we still have a long way to go." Well, as this coronavirus continues to drag on, and as we as a society and in our churches continue to wrestle with the implications of this for ourselves and our churches, I feel like we have churches full of people who are like kids in the back seat of a long car journey. We're all asking the question, how much longer? Are we almost there? When can we get back to normal? And all of those questions and those frustrations are there. And like kids in the back seat who are anxious and frustrated and maybe start fighting with each other, I think we have whole churches that are feeling that way and tempted to fight with one another and be anxious. It's normal. It's normal during a wilderness season like we're in. It's even biblical. Think about the Israelites in the desert, right? They left Egypt and they knew what that was, and now they're in this long wilderness season, and they don't know when it's going to end and when are they going to get to the promised land. And so they were fighting. They were mad at Moses. They were blaming him, and all sorts of troubles. It's just middle parts of long seasons of journeys. Wilderness times are anxious times. So I just want to remind you and encourage you as church leaders to be continuing to remind yourselves and your people about the nature of the season we're in, and that this is normal for these things and so these times. And I want to encourage you to continue to drive home two major themes in the midst of all your other teaching. One is hope. The other is grace. In the midst of your teaching, just keep reminding people, yourself and your people, that God is a God of hope, that God is in the business of bringing good out of bad, and these times of trouble will end. It's just who God is. It's in his nature to bring good out of bad situations. And so never give up hope, particularly in God. And so just remind people of that. And the other thing is grace. And just to give each other lots of grace. Extend grace to people as people might have bad behavior in their frustrations and their anxiety. Extend grace to one another. Do to others as you would have them do to you. I've heard someone famous say before, obviously Jesus. So lots of hope and lots of grace are needed in these times. I want to close this vital moment with commending to you a very famous prayer. You probably know the first part of it. It's called the Serenity Prayer. But I want to share with you the long version by Reinhold Niebuhr, which is worth praying with people and sharing with people during this time. It goes like this. You probably know the first part. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The rest goes on to say this: living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I might be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. Well, God bless, and we'll see you on our next vital moment.